My name is Shanequa Charles, and I'm a criminal rights and a criminal justice advocate here in the state of New York and nationally across the land. And I really came here for one reason, and that was to make sure that we were all on the same page about what New Yorkers really need, right? What New Yorkers really need are individuals in legislative offices that are going to take our needs into consideration first when they touch their jobs. We need folks in office that are going to make sure that when we vote them in, our vote actually matters. What I know is that across New York State, 25,000 people are locked in cages like animals every single day. Is that right? Yes. Is that right? No. If you were locked in a cage, not even big enough to do a jumping jack in, would you be happy? No. If you were forced to eat food that made you sterile and gave you diseases, would you think that something needed to be fixed? Yes. So what I know that here in New York City alone, we've got about 9,000 people in this ugly, ugly place called Rikers Island. Anybody ever heard of Rikers Island? Ooh. Now let me understand this. If black and brown folks make up about 25% of this city, and we make up 89% of a population in jail, doesn't it seem like black and brown folks are being locked up just a little too much? Who raised their hand to that? And is it time for New York to stand up and go cast their vote on Thursday, September 13th, for people who will make sure that those needs are met? Raise your hand if you do. Is Cuomo working? No. Heck no. You can say heck no for that one, right? So here are the issues, folks. The folks are that bail is a problem in New York State. You can't be allowed to arrest someone and know that they have nothing and force them to pay for their freedom. Is that right? No. You can't arrest someone and not tell them what evidence you have against them and hold them hoping that they'll take a plea even if they're innocent just so that you can get a conviction up under your belt. Is that right? No. I don't think it's fair either that folks are sitting around waiting for their court date, and then when they get there, somebody took a vacation that day, and then they're sent back to a cell to sit around for another 6 months. Meanwhile, maybe now the children are in ACS, maybe now the apartment that they were paying rent for is now gone, maybe the job they had is now lost. Think about this for one moment. What would your life look like if someone came and kidnapped you right now and held you for 1 week? 1 week of not calling in your job and saying, hey, I'm not coming in today. 1 week of your child missing from school. 1 week missing in your community where you pay taxes to be in. What would your life look like after just 1 week? Can you even imagine that? You can answer that question. Can you imagine that? 25,000 people in New York State are going through this very problem right now, so that means that Cuomo's watered down attempts at making some type of legislation that doesn't really benefit the people has to stop, right? And like we have the opportunity on Thursday, September 13th, to bring in an individual who's going to make sure that the needs of the people are met. But are we down for that, or are we down for that? Yeah. Are y'all sick of the IDC blocking freedoms from us every single day? Yeah. I'm kind of sick of it myself. I'm excited about Cynthia Nixon. Are you excited? Listen, I don't give my time anywhere freely because it's so precious. This right here, when I go to sleep at night, if I sleep, and when I wake up in the morning, is on my mind. How to get Cynthia Nixon in that office. Because I know that with Cynthia Nixon in that office, the needs of the people are going to be met. And if you hype about that, give it up for Cynthia Nixon as well. If you're hype about your children being able to go to school and get a beautiful education all across New York State, give it up for that too. If you're interested in the reproductive rights of women in this state, if you're interested in making sure that everybody has single-payer health care, if you're interested in making sure that our city's transit system actually runs, give it up. Now, I'm not going to keep y'all all night, but y'all are a good-looking group, and I would love to talk to you a little bit more. But here's what I know. What I know is that I get no sleep because of her right here. this little girl in the front row, because that is the future, and that's my daughter, and she's 8 years old. And so I don't deserve to sleep knowing that I can do something and not do it. We don't have a right to do nothing. Ooh, can y'all say that? Right? On the count of 3, we're gonna get it together, right? We don't have the right to do nothing. 1, 2, 3.
We don't have the right to do nothing.
And that's the God's honest truth. Oh, and my pronouns are she, her, sis, queen.